Hello and welcome to Shark Patrol. In this lesson, we will be learning core concepts such as loops, receiving and comparing sensor values, and time of flight principles. We'll also be learning about conditionals and programmatically moving the drone. For preparation, we recommend bringing along masking tape, a large movable object to represent a shark, the drones, and the laptops that the students will be programming with. It is recommended to mask out a 3x3 area for each team to fly their drone in.
Hello everyone, my name is Gregory from Code for Fun. Today we're going to learn how drones can detect sharks. In real world, drones do detect sharks. Here in Australia, a lot of beaches have drones patrolling them, drones looking down through the water, searching for sharks and signaling when a big shark is there. We, of course, are going to simulate this scenario in a classroom environment. So we're going to use this Tello EDU drone, and we're going to use this inflatable shark. Now, our scenario, our lesson scenario is the following. We are going to code this drone to fly and patrol a certain area, and once our drone flies above the shark, once our drone kind of sees the shark underneath it, the drone should signal that the shark has been detected. How are we going to use it? The thing is that our drone has only one video camera which faces forward. So we cannot unfortunately use this video camera to detect what's going on underneath the drone. However, Tello EDU drone has a very interesting sensor which is called time of flight sensor. You can see it at the bottom of the drone. Time of flight or TOF sensor sends infrared signal down and receives it once it bounces off the surface of the floor. So by doing this, our drone actually measures the height, how high it is flying. So if we were to explain this to students, we would do something like this. We will draw a drone. So let's say this is our drone. And this is our floor. Now, time of flight sensor sends an infrared signal down. Once the signal bounces, it goes back up, and the drone measures the time. How much time does it take for a signal to go down and then up? So that's why it's called time of flight. Time of flight, or TOF. TOF. So obviously, if we model this scenario, imagine now that we have a shark. Now let me just erase this, and let's imagine we have a shark, a big shark, our big inflatable shark, located over here. Obviously, the distance becomes much shorter. The time for our signal gets shorter, and therefore our drone will be able to realize, aha, there is some object underneath the drone. Now, for this experiment, you can of course use any other object. If you don't have an inflatable shark, feel free to just use a box or a chair or a table or really anything which you can put underneath the drone. That will work for your lesson. Now, let's try and code all this using Python.
We're going to start by testing our drone's TOF sensors. So we're going to start by importing our Tello library with from Tello import star. Then we want the drone to get into a mode that it can receive programming code. So we go start. And then we're going to launch the drone up, takeoff. And then we're going to get the TOF results. And to do that, we can use get underscore TOF. But before, we're first going to store this in a variable called result. So at the start of this line, we're just going to type, we're going to go to the start and we're going to type result equals get TOF. And then we're going to print out what this is. So we're going to go print result. It's going to print out what the result variable has, which is this get TOF. And then finally, we need to land the drone. Well, let's test this out.
Now we're going to launch the drone and see what the time of flight sensor result will be. My colleague Sean will launch it right now. Once the drone is flying, let's have a look at our console and see what the result is. As you can see, our result is 773 millimeters. That's how high our drone flies right now.
Now that I know the TOF sensor is working properly, we can progress. So when the drone is up in the air, I don't just want it to print the TOF sensor once. I want it to be constantly printing out what it is. To do that, we're going to be using loops. So what is a loop? Loops are used to run a portion of code many times. In this case, we want it to be running the getTOF part many times. So we're going to loop that part 100 times. And to do that, we first need to put an enter below here. And we'll delete this to keep them together. And at the start here, we're going to type up for I in range 100, colon. And that means that things are going to be looping 100 times. And to ensure that this code loops 100 times, we need to go to the start of this line, press tab to indent it, and then we want to tab this line as well. This means these two lines are going to be looping 100 times. So let's test this out.
Now let's test the drone with the shark. My colleague Sean will launch the drone and we'll try to put shark underneath it, and we will monitor the value of time of flight sensor. All right, the drone is flying. Now Sean will activate our shark and put it underneath it. Now let's zoom in and check the values of the time of flight sensor. As you can see, they are around 400 millimeters. Now, Sean, could you please take the shark away? Now, see, our time of flight sensor is back to normal, about 800 values. Great. Now, let's try again. Shark is underneath the drone, 400. Let's take the shark away, 800 again. Perfect. That's exactly what we wanted. Now we know that our time of flight sensor works and our code works as well.
Now that we know our TOF sensors are updating, we're going to try detect the shark. So to begin, we first want to store what the initial height of the drone is. And that is with initial TOF equals get TOF. So this variable initial TOF now stores what its initial height is. So what we want to do now is we can delete this part, and we're going to, instead of constantly checking at the same spot, we're going to be making it move forward about 20 centimeters each time. So we're going to go for I in range 15. Oop. Be careful of typos. We're going to move forward 20. And that means in total, it's going to move 15 times 20, 300 centimeters. And what we're going to do is at every point, it's going to stop and get the result with result equals get TOF. And then we're just going to print out the result just so we can see what's going on. And we're going to check if the result, which it currently is at, if that current TOF is less than or equal to the TOF it started with, which is initial TOF. So if it's less than that, minus 100, so if it's 100 centimeters less than that, we're going to alert us if it gets below that. And to alert us, we can probably use flip underscore forward. Now that's going to be checking for a shark in a straight line, where it's just moving forward. We want to check for a shark in a square pattern. So to do that, we're going to loop all of this code 4 times, but turn clockwise 90 degrees. And so what we want to do is we just want to tab this out. So we select all of these lines and we press tab. That's going to indent all of those lines together. And then at the top here, we'll put an enter and we'll go 4J. in range 4. And this means there's a nested loop. So we've got a loop inside another loop. And we use J because I is already being in use. And now we want to turn 90 degrees, and we can use clockwise 90. Let's test this out.
Now let's test all the code with the shark. The drone starts flying. It will first turn 90 degrees to the right. That's it. Now it will approach the shark, moving 20 centimeters forward each time and checking the distance to the floor. Now the drone is above the shark somewhere right now. Now looks like it missed the shark. Let's put our shark again underneath the drone. See if it will work. As you can see, our first attempt was not successful. Our drone was flying above the shark and it didn't flip. Now, you may have the same situation in your classroom, and that will be really frustrating. So keep in mind, there is one little thing which you need to be aware of. The drone will not perform a flip if the battery level is lower than 50%. So when you would like to test it, make sure that you put the new battery inside the drone. Otherwise, you will fail your own test in front of your students like we just did. I will try to put the shark underneath our drone. Perfect! It does the flip. As you could see, we put a new battery inside. Now our battery was 100% charged and the code worked really, really well. Once our drone flew above the shark, it started flipping. However, there was another problem. And you may also face this problem in your classroom. When the drone performs the first flip, it goes a little bit lower than it was before. And because that distance is again shorter than the distance of the initial time of flight, it starts flipping, it continues flipping again, and again without shark involved. So let's see how we can solve this problem.
To do that, we go to our condition, and after we flip, we're going to set the initial TOF to be the current result. Now let's test this out again.
All right, now after this fix, we are going to launch our drone again and see if it only flips when it flies above the shark. Perfect. Now, if we try to put a shark underneath the drone again, it performs the jump again.
In a large classroom, you could lead the shark around the different areas where the drones are patrolling. You can also get the students to try patrolling in different shapes. In conclusion, we hope students have a greater understanding of the time of flight principle, how loops can be used to repeat code multiple times, and how conditional statements can be used to accomplish tasks. Students can discuss why drones are used to detect sharks. What do they do better than humans? Are drones better than other methods for dealing with the threat of shark attacks? For example, is it better to use drones than shark nets? And what else can a drone be used to detect?